Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this video. This video is about the case of an idiot driving a truck, a semi truck, on the turnpike in Florida, making an illegal U turn where he shouldn't be making a U turn, and people just perish. Watch these clips, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
All right, an illegal migrant has now been charged after his truck jackknifed a minivan while making an illegal U-turn, killing the three people inside the van. The migrant, who is believed to have crossed the border illegally in 2018, was granted a commercial driver's license by the state of California. He now faces vehicular homicide charges and deportation. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier joins me now to talk about this horrific situation. Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us. What was your reaction when you saw this footage and realized this man cost three people their lives?
Yeah, it's a horrific situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive large-scale trucks. To then drive into Florida, engage in this dangerous behavior and take the lives of three others is really a tragedy, but it shows how dangerous the open border policies under Obama and Biden have been that have continued to wreak havoc on communities across the country. We're certainly going to charge that person with the heaviest crimes we can and make sure that he gets locked up for as long as possible before then being deported back where he came from.
Yeah, and if you watch this footage, as you did and we just showed, I mean, the people in this black minivan had absolutely no time to react. It was a 30-year-old, a 37-year-old, and a 50-year-old. Two of them died on impact, and one of them died at the hospital. Absolutely tragic situation. And you touched on this. Why, if you cross into the country illegally, are you allowed to get a commercial driver's license in the state of California?
Well, you shouldn't be able to, and we're certainly going to look at ways that we can go after California, fight back, and protect our citizens. Here in Florida, if you're an illegal, you are not going to get a driver's license under no circumstances. We made that law in this state many years ago when we banned the opportunity for sanctuary cities. So it's a tragedy, but when it comes from California, nothing surprises me these days. Gavin Newsom should focus more on rule of law than crying and defending these heinous criminals.
Yeah, well, if he is found guilty of homicide, he will likely serve his sentence in Florida. Can you confirm that he will? And if so, what kind of time is he looking at before he is deported?
Sure. Well, yeah, I can confirm we're not going to deport or let this guy out of our sights until we have convicted him and ensured that he is behind bars for as long as possible, likely the rest of his life. Only then will we hand him over to ICE for deportation, but he's going to serve his time.
Okay, on to another topic here. Last week, you became the first state attorney general to ban a substance called 7-O. It's something that is sold in popular products that are found in vape shops. And this is important because Dr. Marty McCary says that this product could lead to the fourth wave of the opioid epidemic. It's something that not a lot of people have heard of before, although I know a lot of parents are watching right now and I'm sure are very interested in learning more about 7-O and the products that have it in them. So what can you tell us about this product and why you decided to ban the sale of it?
Well, we applaud the Trump administration and the FDA. We saw their warning a couple weeks back about this dangerous drug. And we looked at the authorities here in Florida. The Attorney General can emergency reschedule something. We took emergency action and rescheduled this drug 7-OH or 7-hydroxy as it's called to make it a Schedule 1 drug, so it can no longer be sold here in the state. Medical experts have said it's 13 times more potent than morphine, and it was being sold in gas stations and smoke shops right next to a pack of Skittles and candy within the reach of kids. And look, I don't believe businesses should have intervention by government except in the most extreme of circumstances, and that is this. This is a dangerous product. It exposes our kids to harm. Parents didn't really know it was out there, right there on the shelves. So we took immediate action. We're going to protect Florida families and keep people safe.
Yeah, Dr. Martin McCary says that it's not like an opioid. It is an opioid, and it was being sold commercially next to other products, like you just said, not in the state of Florida anymore. Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're very welcome.
All right, so now you just saw this idiot on your screen, Harjinder Singh, kill those 3 innocent people. Okay, so this idiot was driving a semi truck, making an illegal U turn on Florida's Turnpike Tuesday, August 12th in Fort Pierce. He was making a U turn where service trucks, like the ambulance, the police, all that, right, make the U turn. It's legal for them. But this idiot thinks, oh, well, you can make a U turn here. So I'm going to make a U turn in this big ass truck, right? So this stupid motherfucker does the U turn from the far left lane. It blocks all the lanes with the trailer of the truck. And I guess the minivan didn't see it coming. It could not stop in time, and it plowed and wedged under the trailer. He's an idiot. So this happened at Fort Pierce before 3 p.m. So the driver, higher Jindai Sinhai, he made the illegal turning lane. Okay? And my gosh, so all 3 of those passengers died. 2 of the passengers died on the scene, and 1 was taken to the hospital. The driver was a 30-year-old man from City, Florida. And then another passenger was 37-year-old woman from Palmano Beach, Florida. Another passenger was 54-year-old from Miami, Florida. So Harjinder, the driver, is 28 years old, and he is from California, Stockton, California. Okay? And his buddy with him is from Yuba City, California. They didn't identify the passenger yet. They didn't identify him. And he's 25, and Harjinder is 28. Okay? And I'm sorry. And so now he's in jail, and he has 3 counts of the vehicular manslaughter on his record. And now ICE has put a detainer on his ass. So basically, ICE is going to detain him. Once all the courts and all the legal process is out the way, ICE got his ass. He's in the hands of ICE. Okay, this man has been in California since 2018. 2018. Okay, 2018. And the state of California motor vehicles gave this man his CDL that he attained once he came through Mexico into California in 2018. And people are upset about it because this man is illegal. He's not even legal. And people are upset with the governor. And they said the governor needs to stop playing these games and stop giving all these illegals all this shit. Because how many more people need to die for Governor Newsom to get it? But it's just a sad story that they could not stop in time to avoid this. And I don't think they're ever going to avoid it because he was just blocking all the lanes in the damn turnpike. It's ridiculous. Like, everybody that is a truck driver, hell, I'm not a truck driver, and I know you cannot make a U-turn. You have to get off and get back on. I see it so many times with these trucks. Even I, as a pedestrian or whatever you call that, knows you can't do this. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head. Watch the reactions to these people about this dangerous alien.
So on August 12th in Fort Pierce, Florida, 3 innocent people lost their lives because a truck driver decided to do an illegal turn on the turnpike. Near exit 171, he just starts making a U-turn. Now, the area that he was at, it is for official use turns only, meaning like that's for authorities if they have to make a quick emergency or something like that, or, you know, somebody that works on the freeway is doing something and they may have to do something real quick there. That is specifically for them. He just decided, oh, child, that don't matter. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And he made an illegal U-turn. And 3 people who were in a Chrysler minivan could not stop, and they ended up losing their lives because he didn't think about nobody else. Him and another gentleman that was in the actual truck, they got out with no injuries, both surviving fine. There is absolutely no reason for you to make that illegal turn. And it's absolutely no reason that you at the minimum didn't even peep the scene before you made said turn. You could have at least tried to check. You didn't. You just... And then they said when he got out, he didn't seem like he had no remorse. You know, for nobody wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm sorry. Nothing. He just got out like... The driver of the Chrysler was 30 years old. It was a man, I do believe. And then there was a lady that was 37 years old. And then there was another gentleman that was 54 years old. So those 3 people lost their lives because they just unfortunately happened to be on a turnpike in Florida with a driver who had no regard for them. Both of the truck drivers are from California, and this did happen in Florida on August the 12th. May they rest in peace and have peace after this, when somebody very carelessly did not care or value their lives.
And I might not be the smartest person in the whole wide world, but I'm quite sure you need at least your social security number and your birth certificate and your high school diploma to get your CDLs. I don't know if y'all seen the story or not, but a man has called a fatal crash of 3 different people by making a U-turn on the turnpike in Florida. Y'all, I seen the clip of this man, and this man basically got this big semi truck and he's busting a U, and you can see the cars go straight into his trailer park of his his truck. This is my thing. The man not even from here. How did he get his CDLs in California? And then the way he looked in the video like, oh, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal. Like, so, or whatever. Like, it's just something that don't sit right with me, because how do you think out of all places you could bust a U? You could bust a U-turn on a turnpike and cause this major crash where 3 people lost their lives at, and you see no issue with, like, no panic mode, no, oh my God, are they okay? I swear to God, in the video, he just looked like, so. And this is crazy to me, and I really feel like the school in California needs to be investigated, because if y'all gave him his license, how many other people y'all just, I'm really starting to think people don't have to go through the whole process to get the stuff. They just got to pay a certain amount. This is crazy to me. Have y'all heard about this story? Let's talk about this in the comments.
An illegal immigrant did an illegal U-turn. You see how that shit go together? His lack of common sense and judgment is the reason why 3 people was unalived. Let's just jump right into it. The officials say that this man crossed over into the United States illegally from Mexico. They state this man has been here since 2018. He's being held on 3 counts of vehicular homicide. This accident happened near Fort Pierce in Florida. Now on that sign right there, it say clear as day, official use only, which means if you're not a cop, you shouldn't be doing this shit. You can just look at this motherfucker and tell he has no remorse for what he did. He's currently being held on an ICE detainer. They state once he's done serving his time in Florida, he will be deported. But I say, what would make a motherfucker do some shit like this? Clearly, he shouldn't have been behind the motherfucking wheel. While him and his driver escaped without injury, 3 lives was taken for his stupidity.
This dude just attempted to U-turn a full semi-truck on the highway. This happened just a couple days ago on August 12th in Florida. He was just going, and then out of nowhere he just decided to make a U-turn. As he cuts through all the lanes to make the U-turn, you can literally see the driver of the minivan slam on the brakes, but it just wasn't enough time. The driver and his 2 passengers, they unfortunately didn't make it. And of course, the semi-truck driver and his passenger made it out with no injuries. This was absolutely preventable. I don't know what was going through his mind. Like, I get truckers work long hours, but there's no excuse. For lack of a better word, this was just stupid. The tragedy is now being investigated as a traffic homicide. I would love to know what you guys are thinking about this.
That truck driver that made that illegal U-turn that claimed the lives of 3 people been in this country illegally since 2018. From India. He was able to obtain his CDLs in California. There is no way you could convince me that this guy obtained his CDLs legally. Because what truck driver will make an illegal U-turn like that? Right? With all the scams and frauds surrounding CDLs being issued to undocumented immigrants throughout this country, there's no way you could convince me that he received those legally. So even though he's being charged with vehicular homicide and being deported, that will never bring back the lives that was lost in this tragic incident that could have been avoided. And this is just one headline of many where people are caught up in these schemes issuing CDLs to undocumented immigrants that's not qualified for these CDLs, that didn't take any tests, that didn't go to the school. They just paid these people to receive these CDLs.
So this loser decided to make a U-turn on a turnpike in Florida and ended up taking the lives of 3 innocent people in the process. I'm not going to show the rest of the video. If you guys want to look it up, you can. But on top of making that stupid decision, this man showed no remorse whatsoever. If you pay attention to his facial expression, it did not change, not one bit, when that minivan ran into the side of the truck. There's also a second part to that video where he has the same nonchalant look on his face as if he did not care that he just took these people's lives. The consequences that's about to come his way, he deserves it and then some. His reckless decision to try to make a U-turn on the turnpike just ended up costing 3 people their life. And as you can see, he wasn't the only one that was in the truck. The guy that's the passenger with him didn't even attempt to stop him from making that U-turn. That just leads me to believe this is something they've done multiple times before, which is probably why he felt so comfortable doing it.